COVID-19 has created so much drama in the world. It's no surprise that television medical shows are dealing with the pandemic as really a major part of their upcoming season. Case in point, the mid-season premiere of The Resident. It is no different. Season 4 takes place, imagine this, in a post-pandemic world, but dealing with the aftermath of all that the virus has left behind.
Your patient Rose has a splenic sequestration. It's starting to infarct. We gotta get this out of her right away.
Well, that's not gonna be easy. She's been transfused so many times, her body destroys everything we give her.
Well, joining us now from the hit show The Resident, Malcolm-Jamal Warner. Good morning, my love. And can we get my personal embarrassment out of the way first up so we can carry on like two grown adults? Will you indulge me?
What's that? Yeah.
Well, you know that I've told you this years ago when I met you, that when I was a bit just like 13, 14 years old, I wrote a character for myself as Theo Huxtable's girlfriend on your show. I never sent it in, but it was always something I kept dear to my heart. And I told you about this many years ago, and you were super generous about not to shame me. But I'm getting them out in front of this with this audience so nobody will laugh at me too badly. But I still love you with all my heart.
Oh, bless you, Makayla. Thank you, darling. I always appreciate the love and the support.
The Resident is no different for us now. It is helping us, I think. Don't you think that the idea that y'all are taking a deep dive look at not only the pandemic, but what is coming in its wake, giving us an idea of some of those things that we should be considering? How much are you enjoying sinking your teeth into this role?
Well, I've always enjoyed the show from day one. When I first started on the show, the season 1, I was only supposed to do the last 3 episodes of season 1.
How'd that go for you?
Right. And then the show hadn't started airing yet when I first started working. So when the show started to air and I started watching the show, I was a really big fan of the show from the very beginning because I loved the way the show really dealt with, issues in the medical field, like hospital mishaps and their cover-ups. Yeah. So I really loved the way that they were really dealing with topics that other medical shows were not doing. So I've always been proud to be a part of the show for that reason. Sure. But I'm especially proud of what we've been doing this season because when we first started, we started like dead smack in the middle of the pandemic as our season opener. Yeah. And being able to spend the season representing the healthcare workers, the frontline workers who are really out there and have not been able to quarantine or take a break during this time. It's really good to be able to, to shed some light on those real life heroes.
In a normal year, I think having a role like this in a medical drama would give you a new appreciation for these workers, right? But in a pandemic, it probably takes your breath away about what we're asking them to do, what they are volunteering to do, what they are standing in front of us to protect us from. It's really remarkable. They're our everyday heroes.
Yeah, they truly are. I have a really dear friend of mine who is an ER surgeon in Los Angeles. She works out of 3 different hospitals. So she's she's a trauma surgeon. So she
sees it all.
Her daily life is she's seeing people like literally at their worst. Yeah. And just the stress that she endured during the height of COVID was just, it was amazing. And just to see, so much of the stress that these healthcare workers and frontline workers have to deal with, and how they persevere, and how they, are literally saving lives. Yes. So I call them, real life superheroes.
But I imagine for you having a dear friend who is working, their life's mission is to work in that field, saving lives. You want to get this role just right. I imagine it makes you kind of work a little harder. You take great pride in your work. I've seen you how you've been on over the years, but I imagine this makes you want to work even harder to make sure the depiction is accurate.
Definitely, because you hear about shows all the time, whether it's a law show, police show, medical show. When you hear the people who really live those lives, crack on the show,
you don't want to be that guy.
You don't want to be the person they're cracking on.
Yeah, 100%.
And the thing really. Really enlightening, and I think it has made all of us proud, is that, we talk to people in the medical field who like the show. They dig the depiction, of all the roles, and whatever slight things we cannot necessarily get right for sake of time or whatever. They're slight enough that they're forgiven.
Of course.
So to be on a medical show where people in the medical field actually like the show is a big plus for us all.
Look, normally I start these conversations out with somebody that I haven't talked to in a while by sort of doing the check-in of like, how did you do during the pandemic? What were you making sourdough bread? Like were you on Versus? What were you doing? But you were working during the pandemic. But I imagine still it created this artificial bubble for you. How have you managed through the isolation of the pandemic, even though you have been able to work?
Sure. Well, we, for 7 months we didn't work. We wrapped early last March.
Okay.
And we actually didn't start our production season and even our airing season until much later because of the time that we had to take off. And I have a beautiful 3-year-old daughter. So during the time where I was not going to work, it was really wonderful to be able to, be with my daughter every day. Like as far as she was concerned, to have mommy and papa home all day, every day.
What a beautiful thing.
Was heaven for her.
Sure.
What I realized though, I hadn't taken into account how much of an escape going to work was.
Aha.
So it was indentured servitude from 7:30 a.m. to about 8:30 p.m.
Papa can do it. Go get Papa. Papa, I want to read a book. Yeah, no, it's full time, for real. Music is such a big part of your life. Your terrific jazz band, Miles Long Band. Were you able to create, write, play? Did music help you during those 7 months?
Not as much as I had anticipated. I had an album I was hoping to release by summertime. But again, literally, when you're a parent and you are, I don't want to say stuck at home, but you're at home.
The focus becomes that little being.
Yeah, it's like when my daughter says, "Papa, don't play bass, come play with me." I go, "Wow."
We know what's going to happen there.
And there's my daughter at 3. My bass will be here. My daughter's not going to be 3 forever.
Yeah, man. Isn't that the truth, though? Isn't that the truth?
I didn't get as much music as I wanted to. Yeah. But I really can't complain.
No complaints at all. Poetry is important for you as well. Did you get a chance to do any writing? Or again, maybe after little one's asleep, were you able to get pen to paper a bit?
A bit. But, the issue with that, my daughter gets up at 7:30, so I would literally have to get up like 4:35 to get any work done before she woke up, which means I got to be in bed by like 9:30, 10, because a 3-year-old doesn't care how much sleep you did not get.
They do not care. They don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear it. It's not about me. It does not affect me, except you need to be here with me. Look, I know that she's a source of such great joy for you and your wife. We're so pleased that you were able to be with us today. It is such a delight to catch up with you after all this time. You're making us very proud in the work you do on The Resident, and we're glad to have it right here on our channel. You can catch the mid-season premiere of The Resident right here on Fox 11 Tuesday night. Be sure to tune in to see all the happenings. Come visit us once we can, if you can get back here to this coast, and we'll do it in person.
And it's good to see you, Michaela, albeit over video, but it's been some time, so it's good to see you.
Absolutely. You too, darling. Take care.